Hey everyone, welcome to this week's crypto update. So this week I want to mostly focus on Ethereum. Of course, the merge happened on the 15th, and since then the price of Ethereum has tanked. So I want to kind of rationalize that, give my insight into what's going on with that. And I think there's three main reasons why this is happening, why the price went down after the merge when everybody was expecting the opposite, and why everybody thought that this was a super bullish catalyst. And I would argue that it is a very bullish catalyst, but it's not going to play out in the short term. And that is because right now we are in a bear market. When a bear market is in full force like it is right now, even the best news and the best events that could impact prices medium to long term can still really not have much of an impact in the short term when everybody's bearish, when money isn't coming in like it was in the bull market that we saw last year and in 2020. So the first reason that I can see why Ethereum has tailed off so much over the past week is because it really was a buy the rumor, sell the news event. So obviously this was a very well-known catalyst in crypto. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was buying Ethereum into the merge because of how bullish they thought it would be. And like any buy the rumor, sell the news event, this had an effect where everybody was already pretty much all in what they were willing to buy. So by the time the event actually happened, everybody was all in, and there were really no more buyers left at that point, which means especially the people that bought in last minute or at the highest price, which was around $2,000, they were pretty much immediate sellers afterwards because it didn't go the way they had expected it to. And so after the event, that's why it's called sell the news, because when the news comes out, when the event happens, you have a very huge amount of selling. So that's what we saw with Ethereum, and you can still see that this was a buy the rumor, sell the news event, because Ethereum, even after this drop, is still outperforming the rest of the crypto market. So Ethereum, as of right now, which is like 4 p.m. on Thursday, Ethereum's still up 48% from the bottom. Bitcoin only up 9% from the bottom, and altcoins as a whole are up about 29% from the bottom. So Ethereum is still crushing Bitcoin in terms of performance, and almost twice as much return as altcoins since that bottom on June 18th. So there was a ton of buying, which is actually made up for this drop in the recent week. And so yeah, it's just a trademark sign of a buy the rumor, sell the news. But over the last 3 months, Ethereum has still been the best bet in crypto off the bottom. So it might be looking rough, but it hasn't been as bad as Bitcoin, and it hasn't been as bad as some of the altcoin market either. The second reason is because it happened, unfortunately, right after really bad CPI data. Last Tuesday, the 13th, the inflation data came out, and there was a market-wide sell-off, very, very abrupt, because inflation was worse than expected. I actually went into detail on this in my stock and macro update on Wednesday, so be sure to check that out as well if you haven't read that. But the CPI data was definitely worse than expected, and that had a toll on the markets. Crypto, of course, was no exception there, because when the stock market has a sudden drop, the crypto market tends to have an exaggerated drop, and likewise, when the stock market goes up very suddenly, crypto tends to have a even more bullish rally than the broader stock market. So that was another reason. And the third reason, and to me this is probably the most important, is that miners are selling right now. So just within the first 4 days after the merge, miners had already sold about 30,000 ETH overall. So obviously Ethereum mining is no longer a thing. That was the whole deal with the merge, is shifting from proof of work, which is mining, to proof of stake, which is earning through validating transactions on the Ethereum network. So the miners have to really look for something else to do. And my theory is that they are investing more in Bitcoin mining at this point. And Bitcoin mining, for the most part, uses a different kind of machine than Ethereum mining. So people mine Ethereum with GPUs, and people mine Bitcoin with ASICs. And ASICs are tailor-made for actually mining Bitcoin. So they're very useful for that, and they provide a lot of benefits there. So I think that miners were actually selling their Ethereum to free up cash to buy ASICs to mine Bitcoin. This is what one company, I'm pretty sure they're doing this, they haven't confirmed it yet, but Hive Blockchain, which was the only large-scale Ethereum mining company that's publicly traded, they talked in their August update about how much of a advantage it would be if they switched all their Ethereum mining capacity to Bitcoin, and mined the Bitcoin using ASICs instead of GPUs. So if these players with all their they have so much capacity to mine Ethereum, and if they want to continue in the crypto mining industry, their second best bet is probably going to be Bitcoin, and mining that. So they're going to have to switch a lot of this from GPUs to ASICs, and to do that, obviously they need to free up money, and part of that is selling at least some of the total amount of ETH reserves that they mined over the years. So those are the three reasons that I think that ETH is down, and hopefully that provides some context. I know that a lot of people are upset, but don't get me wrong, I still think the merge was a very, very bullish catalyst for Ethereum, especially when you talk about supply and demand, and Ethereum being deflationary in the future. So overall, I want to talk about what I see coming ahead in the crypto market. I'm still about 50-50 that the bottom is in, but I want to give some, a more bullish perspective on what I'm seeing over the mid to long term, because the short term right now is a total toss-up. I think it's still very much dependent on what the Fed does. I think that they have gone a lot farther than a lot of people thought, and now people are starting to get the picture that they are going to keep going until either something in the economy breaks or inflation is a lot lower than it is right now. So there might be more downside in the future. It would not surprise me one bit. But after that, there's obviously going to be another bull market. That's definitely inevitable, especially in crypto when you figure how young the industry is. The total crypto market cap still is, I believe, under $900 billion, which is tiny when you compare it to any other major asset class in the world. And so higher prices are going to come. That's, to me, inevitable. And I'm still very, very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum and select altcoins. And I just want to give a prediction for the rally to come once the bottom is finally in, which it might be. And I'm going to give price predictions too. So Bitcoin, I expect to rally 10 to 12x off of the lows. Ethereum, 20 to 25x off the lows. And leading altcoins, 30 to 100x off the lows. I provide a little bit more context into what I mean by leading altcoins in the article, so make sure you check that out too. So again, are the lows in? I would say 50-50 chance. But even if they aren't, I think that prices in the next bull run are going to be way, way higher than they are now. So assuming that the bottoms are in, we can take those predictions that I just made and get prices of $175,670 to $210,804 for Bitcoin. So basically $175K to $210K in the next bull market. Ethereum, about $18K to $22K. Curve, which is an altcoin that I went over last week quite a bit. I think they are the king of DeFi. I think there's a ton of upside there, and you can read why if you haven't seen that in last week's article. I think that if that goes 30x to 100x, that would be sitting between $16 and $53 per coin. Right now, I think it's at like 90 cents. And Synthetics, which is another really important crypto on the Ethereum blockchain, that would be, if it goes 30 to 100x, between $42.75 and $142.50. And right now, I think that's at like $2.40 or so. So a ton of upside, even if things go down more, even if the bottom isn't in yet, these prices would crush where we are today. So I think that, there's still a ton of upside in crypto. I just wanted to get that point across because I felt like, things are very bearish, and I wanted to provide some insight into what I'm seeing in the future. So I've been buying a little bit here and there over the past few months, not too much. But I think it's not a bad idea at these levels. If you plan on holding for years, it's definitely, I don't think it's a bad idea to buy, especially Bitcoin and especially Ethereum. So just wanted to provide that insight. Hopefully everybody got something out of that. Definitely let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you again next Wednesday with the next stock and macro update.